markets just dropped 26% in the month and rebounded 20% the same month in April, which performed the best month in the stock market history since 2020. So now let's look at how April ended off, and let's do some analysis on how we can get prepared to get the same return in May for any investors. As we take a look at the market fear and greed index, the market is pushed back up to fear. Okay, we were in extreme fear the last few weeks with an 18 out of 100. Now we're with a 35 out of 100, meaning there's more buyers that stepped in the markets these past 4 weeks. And this is a great sign for the markets, as we've seen the markets down as all-time lows since the last 3 months. And we want to see some buyers finally step in, which we've seen some pause on tariffs announce that news. And we're going to see the markets push back more to neutral these next few months in May, June, August, and July. So make sure you have those dates saved on your calendar, and so we can push back to the greed state where buyers are stepping in, people buying their favorite asset. As we take a look at the US 100 NASDAQ, it's basically an index that shows us all the sectors with technology stocks. And this is a great sign for the markets as we see a nice little crash. And now we guys, first time in the channel, new subscribers, you can see a rebound. So now we get to see two states of the market. When markets in extreme fear and there's a sell-off and people are letting go of the access due to economic fear, uncertainty, or tariffs or interest rates. And now we see when markets are rebounding from that crash, they like the certain price the market fell at. So people quickly buy in, like we seen in April 7th on Monday in the week. And now we've seen the big bullish candlestick push up past 19,000, and it went down all the way to 16,000 for the index. And this is a great momentum in the uptrend. We started this in 2022. So every time we've seen these little market crashes and we've guys been locked in, practicing saving and budgeting, buying these favorite tech stocks, you're not too late right now, since we just got in right here. But we're going to still make all-time highs. And people who would have got in right here is less risky. But it's overall great week for the NASDAQ and the stock market. I mean, look at this 26% drop. We don't see setups like this too easy like that in front of us. It's consistently started from the beginning of the year of really like February. We've seen the stocks start really selling off. But Bitcoin been selling off since January. Speaking of Bitcoin had a phenomenal month as well. We've seen Bitcoin fall down to below 74,000, and we quickly pushed it back up the following weeks from the 14th. Then we pushed it up on 21st, 20 April, and then we pushed it up 28th. It's still up. So basically, we hit a new low, which was an all-time low this year, and Bitcoin quickly rebounds since that. And that's whenever we see a stock or index or any type of market crash before we see the rebound and the rally. So a market first has to crash and fall down in a correction in order to push back higher and make an all-time high. So that's a key note for you guys, paying attention to how these markets move. I always expect that big dip towards the downside. Whenever we be patient, then we get rewarded. The market price will come to our desired price where we want to buy. So Bitcoin is finally pushing off this cup and handle. We see the cup right here. This is the handle right here, and this is the cup. So now we can push back up towards 109,000 in May, June, July, and August. This whole summer rally will start from here with cryptocurrency, and I will look past new all-time highs with Bitcoin and any type of cryptos. Altcoin season might be in boom. I know Ethereum is going to be a great one to be buying as well. We got $1,800 right now for Ethereum, and Ethereum's not going to sit down here too low. We see Ethereum has formed this nice little wick candlestick towards the bottom of the chart on Monday 7th, whenever we've seen the whole market's reversal with the other indexes as well. And this was a key price for Ethereum as we hit 1,374 in April, and we got it back to 1,800 to close the month. So if we zoom out that time frame for the month time frame, this is the candlestick that happened for April. So we've seen a low of 1,300 and we've seen a high about 1,970, almost 2,000. Well, prediction for Ethereum in May, June, July, and the summertime, I see Ethereum definitely passing $2,000, going back to 2,500. And I'm going to see a very nice load of bullish momentum next month, especially particular for Ethereum. This will be a great one to load up on. This candlestick right here is just showing me that this is a great sign of trend reversal. These nice little doji butterfly candlesticks. What is a doji butterfly candlestick? Let's look at a doji butterfly candlestick. This is what we've seen, a bullish momentum towards the upside. Price hits the low, ends up closing near the high. And this is where you want to see near trend reversals. And this is going to give us an edge over in the market, paying attention to these type of candlesticks on the monthly time frame. So if we see a whole month, this candlestick traded at this right here, it's just good signs for us as people who want to buy. And people who've seen Ethereum down for these last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. And anytime you see Ethereum down for like that, like it was in that bull situation in 2022, this is when you want to buy the asset because it's a huge move going back towards upside. Solana is another great asset to get as well. We're seeing Solana hit a low of about $94 this month in April, and we've seen it push back to 150. So these nice little 50 to 34% drops down, and then we've seen a huge gap up towards the same size. So if we can actually get this one into May towards $200 to Solana, it's going to be a great one to buy. Another thing below $300 is a great one for Solana to keep adding up. As we see, we can get the opportunity to get in now. We're going to push back to $300 in the next 6 months. You can get able to return for 50% investment long term by just holding and investing into Solana. And I like to have vaults with Solana is one day we can be up $10, and then the next day we'll be up $20 again. We just see consistent winning days of Solana once it's in bull market and people are buying this asset. MSTR, one of the key components of Bitcoin strategy is to keep buying Bitcoin as its balance sheet and growing its capital through Bitcoin. So the more Bitcoin this company acquires, the assets and the market cap increases, just because as Bitcoin increases over time and the scarcity happens over time as well. So we're seeing the CEO Michael Saylor invest tons of capital into the strategy Bitcoin buying spree, and this is really pushing up the stock price lately as we see MicroStrategy hit a low about $237 this month in April, and we pushed up to $380 to close. Right here is telling us that price gapped up and elevated towards a higher price. So whenever we see stock prices do this during a month, this is a key sign, especially when we see this doji with candlestick right here. And this doji right here is showing indecision. And I told you guys, if we can see next month on the previous video, that if we see next month's candlestick end up with a bullish engulfing, meaning we open close higher than we projected last month, this is a good one to add. But make sure that you guys get in early right now as we push back to $600 and we get a good return on investment. If we can buy low, sell high, and we can get this one up higher to $500 by the end of this year, it's a great one to get a nice $20,000 investment off return option leap or 55% return on long-term buying and holding dollar cost average. Coinbase is another one that really closed higher than where it opened up previously last month, but actually hit an all-time low this year and then ended up closing higher than where the low went. So when we look at Coinbase, it fell a low to $141 and then ended up closing to $202. So that's a great difference for people who would have bought earlier in the month and then patiently held to now and even continue holding on for the next 6 months. So that's the benefits of a stock. Whenever we have time on our hand, that's a better asset to have as these stocks appreciate, because you got to have time for these candlesticks to form every month. So the more months you have over time in the bull market, the more chance of you have to increase your return. So it's cool if you can hold on to a month, but once you start getting the great returns and big returns in bulk and capital, is whenever you can hold from months to years. Okay, so let's now look at where Coinbase is headed. We're headed to $300 in May and the rest of the year, and I say this one's a great one to have leap on for you to get a nice 20,000 return on if you can hold and buy multiple option contract leaps expiring in 2026. But even just buying the stock and accumulating shares and dollar cost average will get you at least a 50% return investment with Coinbase current price at $200 and price target for it to be $400 by the end of this year. And for my investors starting off into crypto stocks, miners are a great way to start, but you can start buying dollar cost averaging with at least less than $10, $20 bill, and you can start buying them over time as they mine and they accept transactions on the blockchain network, and they're needed for Bitcoin to be mined and the hash rate and the whole blockchain to operate. So these companies really put a lot of effort into the blockchain and keeping it safe, and they're going to be ones that are going to take off over time as we see Bitcoin elevate towards 150,000 this year. This is another great one to have on some leaps as we push back with Marathon Digital to $30. The last 3 months is down, and we see it's down 65% and $20. So we can get multiple contracts to this. We can get at least $2,000 investment per contract we buy. So if we buy 10 contracts, that's an easy $20,000 return off $10,000 right there. So we continue buying these options of Marathon Digital. It costs about like $150 to $200 per contract off a good date. So if you want to have more time, that would cost you probably a bit more, about $500 to $700. So depending on the in the money and the out money and the dates, if you have more options that expire more farther out, that will give you less risk, but it costs you more capital to get inside this investment. It's always one of the best ways to consider your risk. Okay. Donald Trump's social media stocks been on my radar this year, especially towards these last few months. When in April, the stock hit a below but like $15 and rose up to close at $24 this month. And this is a huge sign, as DJT stock last few months is showing huge volatility. It went to between $12 and shot up to $65 during his election time last year. And now we got this price back down in that $12 to $20 range, and the price is really volatile. Okay, we're seeing breakouts here happen a few days. We see the stock up 5 to 10%, and consistent streaks with consistent patterns of days of it winning. That's a sign that the stock is going to break out soon, so we can get it past $100 this year. This is a great one for you to get a short squeeze, one of those meme stocks we say that get you a huge return. Okay, meme stock don't necessarily mean high risk. It means high reward as well if you play it right. This one can get you a nice $8,000 to $10,000 return investment if you can put multiple contracts on this one. GameStop had a phenomenal month this month. We've seen GameStop fall down to $20.71 and push up to close at $27. And these nice candlesticks, these bullish candlesticks we've seen happen right now is consistent builds of ways we can tell that GameStop's puzzle is all playing the fact of a breakout short squeeze that happened last year. Okay, we see that the pattern happened when price fell between $10 and shot up to $65. Now this year we see GameStop can go down to 20 as the lowest, and the highest could be 120s. This is a great one to bet on and have a nice call option just sitting on there to make passive income, waiting to break out that one day that GameStop short squeeze and shoots up 100% in a day, 120% in a day. That's going to be worth it as the patience that you held this contract, or even holding the shares with dollar cost averaging in this company. This company invests into Bitcoin, so now I always had a correlation to think that GameStop price movement was correlated to Bitcoin, but now it's confirmed that GameStop's price movement is correlated to Bitcoin, because now I have both assets and I see both of them move correlation to each other. So before, we weren't confirmed that they had a correlation together. They always had the skeptic that it was though, but now it's confirmed. We already know GameStop had about $4.9 billion to invest into Bitcoin, and it's announced this year that Bitcoin is going to be one of its major investments. So now we're going to see that GameStop is going to be very volatile as we see Bitcoin push to 150,000. Do not lay your eyes off this stock. It's actually, matter of fact, put this one key number one this year on where price is headed and how fast we're going to get there. Nike stock had a huge hit this month. I mean, it's just been beat up the last year, 1,278 days. It's down 70%. It's down 126 days. And you guys can tell based off where I'm going with this stock, it's very beat up and it needs to recover. But the best time for you to grow your wealth and the best opportunity for you to take advantage in the stock is whenever it was beat up and it needs recovery and it needs the hospital. Okay, Nike needs some healing. It's got hit with these terrorists. We've seen this terrorist effect is not going to benefit the stock, even though it's already been beat up before the announcements of these terrorists. Okay, but we know that terrorists at the end of the day will have a benefit on our economy, if you want to believe it or not. But business is business. If we can increase the price and the cost of living and charge any other people for tax for it, that's going to increase revenue, profit, especially if the demand is still the same. So based off Nike, the demand will always be there due to the marketing of the shoes and how long the credibility of it been around. So this is a great one to have in your portfolio as the dividends growth evolves over time with compound interest. You dollar cost averaging, buying the stock, budgeting, saving, invest to put aside into Nike. You can grow your wealth with this stock by just investing into this stock only and practicing the behavior. And you going all in, and you can start seeing that this stock is really starting you a nice rhythm for you to build some financial freedom. Especially as we push back up to $150, this is a great chance for you to start as a young investor to grow your stock in Nike. Reddit is another great stock for you to earn passive income on for the next 6 months to 8 months. Okay, so this one's you can dollar cost average where it's currently sitting at $116. It's down 64% and down $145 the last 57 days. If we can get this stock dollar cost average right now, we can get the opportunity to times 3 what we put to get back to $300 where we were the last 3 months. And I like how Reddit is very volatile. We can be up between $5 to $20 on a real volatile day when this stock is really in the volatility that day. So it's a good one to have passive income on with an option in Leap, so you can get at least $10,000 to $15,000 return off investment with this stock long term. And we know that's the community for this stock is just going to get built on more stronger, especially as we see price push up for the markets in NASDAQ. Uber had a great month this month. We've seen the stock pull down to $60 for a low and pull up to $81. So we've seen tons of people create lots of wealth this month just off this announcement with tariffs being paused. And we've seen the stocks real volatile hit lows and then quickly recover within the day. So this is a great sign for this stock. Next month in May, we can see some great volatility for Uber. I'm seeing the stock breaking past $87 this next month. And this is this one that you can just get some easy money on if you can load up on a bunch of option contracts for the next 6 months, and then you just ride this move to break the past this last high. TQQQ is one of my favorite stocks for me to trade options and have leverage on my capital. Just because TQQQ offers a way to buy not too much options but give me a high return off investment. Okay, we're seeing that today TQQQ fell down to a low of $50 and went up to a high of $55. And that just $5 difference is what we see consistently just because it matches the index of NASDAQ. And NASDAQ is one of the most volatile stocks indexes in the company. And this stock right here provides you with leverage so you can trade that index. So it matches the same stock charts as NASDAQ. So it allows me to get like cop options for this company between like $500 to $100 based off the timing. But you can get multiple contracts for this. And we can push up to $94. Even just holding the stock on $50 per share is a great price for us right now because we're halfway under where the price target was the last 3 months to $100. So we can get in now. We get the opportunity to get at least 62% return off investment. And if we can just hold that on by just holding shares and dollar cost averaging, or we can get increased revenue of options contracts by getting multiple contracts per about 500 to 1,000 each, and then we can get 6,000 return off each contract, which lay us out 16,000 per contract to grow our multiplier. So we got 2 ways to get nice opportunities to take advantage of this opportunity where TQQQ is at right now and closing at April. I just see next month TQ going past $64 to $70 to increase this bullish golfing candlestick we see. Tesla is one of my favorite stocks right now to trade options right now with leaps. I currently hold option for Tesla and holding on to this one till November 21st with a strike price of $295. So I'm gonna let you guys know how that one's gonna be doing weekly. And I continue buying Tesla just cause it's down 120 days in the last 43%, and we've seen this $209 down from its all-time high. And we'll continue loading up on Tesla as it's in this key area of value. For the month, it went down to a low about $210. And then the following week, it rebounded up. And then we pushed it up to close the month at $282. So this is a great sign of Tesla with this nice little bullish engulfing candlestick. And we can push back towards $500 at the end of this year. We can just continue riding out to get passive income every month by putting on leaps for this company and really waiting for this company to really break out towards this uptrend. As we've seen in the past 2 years, this company has been in an uptrend. And I really like how this company is in this cup and handle as well. This is the handle and this is the cup. So this is a great opportunity for us Tesla investors to really take advantage of this company as well. I mean, we've seen how much times price touched this line right here in the past history. It's been about at least 10 times in the past at $217 to $282 range. Another asset for everyone to earn passive income with Leap options is AMD. I currently hold an option for AMD with a strike price at $105 call and expires on June 20th. And I like how this company is down 63% at $142 the last 396 days. So the stock's been beat up past the year now. It's time for this stock to really get back into momentum of going towards the upside of having this huge correction. I mean, we see whenever the stock has a long correction like this, it always comes towards a big rebound like we've seen in 2022. So with these tariffs being in play with AMD, I see this company really taking profits now with the tariffs, and then how these imports on these other companies and cost of revenue really going up just because how this company is really profiting off the demand of AI chips. And I see this company really going back towards $300 in the next year. So I just really like to ride the passive income of Leaps. $100 or $100 every dollar goes up towards the upside will be the best play for me, and buying long-term options for this one. Continue buying dollar cost average for this company. Microsoft had a phenomenal month for the month as well. We've seen Microsoft hit a low in August 2024, and stock been really consolidating in this range for the past 302 days. But this month really set out the standard for Microsoft so it can go back towards the upside and continue this volatility streak for the next few months. Okay, what Microsoft did was drop $344 this month, and it ended up closing at $395. What a great phenomenal trade for Microsoft this day with a $50 difference. So you get about $5,000 per contract if you traded Microsoft this month with option leaps. And we continue seeing nice momentum towards upside. We got $125 more to go to reach towards all-time high with Microsoft. If we can dollar cost average right now, we can get at least 30% return if we can buy it at this price range and ride it back out to $500. Or we can get a $20,000 return off a leap option. We can get an option that expires in 2026. We can continue buying this option. Every dollar goes up, we'll be in $100. So that's a great sign for sleep investors or passive income option holders. Apple had a phenomenal volatile week as well. For the month, we've seen Apple went down to a low $171 and it went up to $212 to close the month. We've seen it's down 35% and it's down $88 in the last 120 days. And we know Apple is one of those stocks that just remains towards all-time high, so we got to push back to Apple towards all-time high just because it's one of those stocks that all-time get bought out. The government supports it. It's one of the most demanding products in the world right now. So Apple's one that you want to have options on leaps just because the difference between it going towards its all-time high compared to other stocks is faster compared to less market cap companies. So this is where you want to get your highest return the fastest, the quickest off options. And I continue getting multiple contracts so we can get at least a $9,000 return investment per contract we buy, which costs us between $2,500 to $2,000. Qualcomm surpassed earnings today, but the stock still dropped $9. This is a great stock to have in portfolio for a dividend investor and like to have passive income through the stock going up in revenue and also dividends per share. And this stock is down 48% and $110 the last 302 days, and the stock has just been beat up the past year. And I like to get those stocks that's been beat up the longest and the most. Those two combination equals great capital return. So I got this stock right now so we can get it up to $230 where it's all-time high. Will give us at least a $12,000 investment if we can get some leaps contracts going on, but dollar cost average will give us even multiple streams of different income coming in through dividends and the stock going up as well. So these three strategies will give you a great start for you to clear debt that starts between $20,000 to $100,000 based off the effort you put into dollar cost average and the best times to get into the contract and the earliest time that you get into the stock will determine on your profit. Okay, so this is one you can knock out a huge lump sum of debt with just this one stock that can set you up for generations right now. So I really like the signs of Qualcomm. I mean, especially with this bullish dragonfly candlestick, we see the stock hit the low and close towards the high. I do start seeing bullish candlesticks towards the rest of the month and the year after these tariffs really play into effect and we start seeing results. Can't talk about all-time high companies without bringing up Broadcom. Broadcom is one of those electronic semiconductor stocks. It's really one's needed that started out for foundation of technology as well. We've seen the stock has been around, hit the stock split, and it's went down to $135 this month, and it ended up shooting towards $192 to close the month. And this nice engulfing candlestick is really showing us that the next few months ahead, we got some good signs of Broadcom. It's one of the stocks that stay high, like I said, and it's a very volatile month, so it's not really that much bad months of Broadcom. When we look at the past data, Broadcom, there's not huge dips like we've seen this month for Broadcom. So if we got in between $130 to $190, is a good sign for a return for this investment off leaps and even long-term investors. SMCI is another great stock to have in your bag right now. We're seeing the stock pour down at the earnings to about $28, and it hit a high at about $26 this month. But right now we're seeing the stock close and in the middle right now, meaning indecision. So next month is key month to keep ahead of and put a huge amount of options for, just in case the stock has huge volatility next month, which is where we're anticipating for NASDAQ and technology stocks as well. And we might see interest rates or the conversation of interest rates dropping next month. We got a meeting due on May 5th. This is one of those contracts where I would definitely get a lot of and hold them for some leaps, just because the amount of volatility this stock has potential of reaching up towards $65 in a month like it did in February. And then we'll continue getting this 58% return off our contract, or not even this per contract. We can get at least 3,000 to 4,000 return off per contract. So we continue dollar cost averaging to really set us up for a good start instead of getting long-term leaps for this company. MongoDB is one of the biggest stocks I've seen getting beat up. It's the biggest stock that has the longest amount of time of it being down behind Nike. And this is one of the technology stocks that we don't see behind compared to NASDAQ too long. But this stock right here has signs that it can have a short squeeze. Okay, if we can get in between $140 and $172, this nice little butterfly doji is always one of my favorite signs to look at during a trend reversal or me stepping in to get a huge gap up towards the upside. Whether that's me placing some option contracts in a temporary time and gaining that 500% return off the difference, or me just taking advantage of where the stock is at currently in the price and where it was at previously. So I like to take advantage of when stocks are down at this low after seeing this nice little double bottom. MongoDB could crash down more to make it a nice false breakout for the month, but due to me looking at the timing and how long MongoDB did down and compared to where NASDAQ is up higher compared to this stock, and this one is lagging behind it, I'm going to take advantage of where MongoDB is at and push towards a call towards $300 this year. And that can really give me a $20,000 investment per contract, and dollar cost averaging will give me at least 50% return. But long term, if you can hold dollar cost average in this one, you will get at least 80% return and $459 per share if you buy now early. As an investor who pays attention to stocks and doesn't discriminate, keeps an open mind to buying and investing into these different companies, Netflix has a phenomenal month and really leading the market to where the markets are headed towards the next few months where it comes to bullish engulfing activity. Okay, we see Netflix is one of those that stays high. It doesn't come down too low, and if it does, we have a huge bullish breakout to close the month or close the year. I mean, Netflix had hit $1 trillion market cap. Congrats to Netflix. We've seen this month hit about $830, and we've seen it push up to $1,138. And my investors who do leaps on contracts, this right here is a $300,000 investment if you had a contract on this betting at around 228 strike price, and you holding it till the end of the month. And that's a great sign for people who invest or option traders, because these are the type of returns we see in the markets right here. What Netflix did right now this month is just pay off people's mortgages. It paid off people's student loans. This right here just boosted a whole bunch of money inside the economy and made a lot of people wealth this month. If people would have bought this stock, even since 2022, the wealth would have been a huge difference compared to right now. But people who would have bought in this month would have been a great time too as well. So hope this is courage for you guys. What we see in the market, these type of wars, these type of gains, every 10 to $1 difference we think is small, but whenever it comes to you having more position or you having more of it, that's whenever you multiply it and the profit comes more. So the more asset, the more share you have, the more reward you can make and the more risk that it takes. Okay? That's always a good way to think about it. Even Nvidia is one of those top dogs that had those butterfly doge candlestick movement this month to close the month, guys. And this is right here is one of my best setups. I don't think I've seen a best setup since 2022. And right now we gotta take advantage, because this setup right here is showing us that this stock is right here for the month. Next month we're gonna move from down here to up here to close the month. And right now is the best time for us to take advantage of it, as Nvidia is at $100, guys. I told you guys if Nvidia falls anything below $100, it's a great time to buy the stock, and you got it at a discount, and you start your entry to building wealth. And a lot of people grabbed it right here between $85. So kudos to you people who pay attention to Nvidia price range and waiting for that break, because I said we have more room to go down, and now we can ride out to get at least 40% return on our long-term investment. Okay, and we can buy the stock once it pushes back to 150. In the next 10 years we can see the stock back at $1,000. So right now is a great opportunity for Nvidia for even long-term leap options for us to get $6,000 per contract by only investing between $3,000 to $1,500 with a 2026 call option. Amazon as well is easy money. Okay, guys, if we look at these Fortune 500 companies with the FANG and the ones with the biggest market cap, these stocks are going to be the ones that are more risky, but are going to get you the profit that you are looking for faster compared to these other stocks that are less volatile. So whenever I talk about making a amount of return in a certain amount of time, and which stock has capability of moving towards all-time high quicker than the other stocks, I'm going to look at Amazon. Okay, Amazon is currently at $184. It's been down 57 days and it's down 32% the last few days. Okay, guys, we're going to be down $77 right now, so we can get at least $7,000 investment if we can get in at $184 strike price and push it up to $250 right now. We can get 7 bands per contract, and we can hold that at least take a year. And I can see that happening within a year. But like I said, if you got time on your hand and you're dealing with options, that is a way for you to consider your lower risk towards an asset. Okay, now let's take a look at Amazon. If we can definitely, every time we see Amazon in this nice dip with these huge wick candlesticks, those are quite key areas for you to acquire the stock right now. And we pay attention and keep loading up. This would be your time right now for Amazon. Affirm closing the month really strong as well. It went down to between $33, ended up closing at $49. I like how Affirm, every time we see these nice, big, huge gaps towards the downside after the stock fell a few consistent months, we've seen a huge rebound every time Affirm does this. Okay. And right now, that's the time for Affirm. So if we can hold between this whole summertime and even till November, it'll be a great time to load up on Affirm to get about 5,000 return investment per contract with leaps, and you get at least a 60% return off investment per dollar cost averaging. I mean, Affirm is always going to be needed. We need that. These companies are buying these assets for people and then paying them back with loans over time. We know those type of businesses are always going to be in demand, and people are always going to be making loans or purchases now to pay back later. Google setup's looking very nice too as well. It's down 28% in the last 57 days and it's down $60. I mean, we can get at least $6,000 return investment if we can ride Google back towards all-time highs as well. It's one of those stocks that stays towards its all-time high. And we know that's the easiest way to get inside the stock is buy the dip and then sell it high. And if we can get this stock right now early, we can get this opportunity to take advantage, and we can hope for the next past year as we see Google pays nice dividends as well for owning stock with dollar cost average, and we can get at least 30% return as we push back to $210 this year for Google. I like the stock overall. We know that AI is still going to be getting talked about, and these mega tech companies are going to be those ones that are going to be huge volatilities next few months. Boeing had a phenomenal month this month. We've seen the stock go down to $129 and then close between $183. And right now we're seeing a triple bottom with Boeing, and the stock's just been struggling for the last 5 years. I mean, we can get the stock down at this price range. We can continue loading dollar cost averaging, and we can pull up to get at least 71% with a dollar cost average and get $317 per share. And that's a great return off a stock that's really doing bad these last 2,222 days. I like how we can get an option on this. We can get at least $300,000 return if we can get multiple option contract leaps. But this might take us way more capital than a normal stock because we got to have more time for this play to run out. But I do see this company turn around, even though it has a lot of backlash right now. Boeing airplanes for military combat is always going to be one in the future where the government is always investing into, and it's going to be huge growth. So if the stock is getting beat up or there's bearish news on it, that's your time for you to just keep practicing to save, budget, and invest into the company, because this one's going to take off to $300, $400 in the next 3 years. Shopify also had a great month as well. We've seen the stock went down to $70 for the low, and this butterfly doji made it close towards the high between $95. And we've seen every time Shopify is in this correction, these nice little long weeks towards the downside, the stock always rebounds the following month after. So based off this pattern in history that the stock is getting beat up in a correction, we want to buy every time the stock is down. Okay, now we got this price in the key area of supply and demand. We can keep loading up and get at least about $110 return per share if we can buy a dollar cost average, and then we can get at least $10,000 investment if we can buy some long leaps with multiple contracts. We can start multiplying that per contract. But right now we can start off with one leap, and once we start getting confirmation with the next month, we continue adding another leap contract and keep doing that, and then that's how you start making huge passive income to pay off your mortgage and your debt. Thank you guys for locking in to the end of the video. This video is going to show you guys what the stocks you need to be investing in consistently for the next 6 months for the rest of the year, so you can get this debt free and start building your wealth. Okay guys, and now make sure that now we have the markets very strong in April. Don't be afraid to start turning up your investments, to start sacrificing little bits of here and there so you can start making meets and towards the rest of the year. Okay, all you need is a lockdown for the next 3 to 6 months for you to be living comfortably for the next 5 to 10, 15 years, or get rid of that one big purchase of debt or loan. So that's because you got to sacrifice 3 to 6 months. Okay guys, would you rather have that free debt or free mind, or would you just be wanting to live out the next 3 to 6 months off that whole check if you're not willing to invest most of it? Okay guys, and stop waiting for the best time to invest, guys, because we've been waiting. I've been showing you guys the best time. Every time you check into these videos, it's the best time to invest. There's never going to be the best time to invest. So those waiting for you to start, the longer you wait, the longer it takes for you to get to where you want to. Okay, so if we wait till next year, or till next month, or we keep pushing off all our problems to the next person or next time to when we feel like it, then we're never going to start building the character and what it takes for us to be successful. So stop pushing off things until later, or pushing things off till I get home, or start now. Take care of the due diligence right now of what it takes, the behaviors, which can be just a simple saying no to eating out this weekend, saying no to going out to the club with my friends to take a couple of drinks, and just saying no. That can be the first step, and then you starting to think about what you want to do for the next 10 to 15 years as a career, and then from there you already got 2 parts of the biggest pie: cutting off your expenses, and really starting an income for you to start a degree, for you to start working in the next 2 years that doesn't require you to get yourself too much out of debt. From there, we can start paying attention to the self-academics uploads we have into the stocks we invest in for the month that can give us a huge return of growth off dollar cost average. And with leaps options, either direction of the stock market, we can profit up or down. But if the market is down, we still have a dollar cost average, and we have a nice portfolio balance where the portfolio is not hurt too much from risky assets. And if we do, we can always readjust our portfolio to buy more long-term the stocks that have huge growth because they're down right now 60%. Okay, guys, I hope this video helped you. So I'll see you guys in the next one. We out.